Welcome to Winning Paths, your gateway into the enthralling realm of archery. Dive deep into its theories, unravel its rich history, and bask in a wealth of experiences shared by us and our distinguished guests. This podcast is a treasure trove of all things archery, brought to life through engaging dialogues and insightful monologues. Proudly produced by the Irish Field Archery Monthly, Ireland's premier non-profit archery community magazine, our existence is a testament to the unwavering support and dedication of our listeners. If our content resonates with you, we warmly invite you to bolster our mission through a direct donation to our dedicated account. Find the link in our description. Our episodes are the culmination of thoughtful analysis, extensive research, academic endeavors, and the publication of articles and books on archery, both in Ireland and internationally. The core of our content is original, crafted from our intellectual endeavors, while any borrowed insights are duly credited, showcasing the cited authors and outlining our research methodology. Our commitment to you is unwavering, to deliver compelling, original content bi-weekly, free of charge, enriching your knowledge and passion for archery. Welcome back, dear listeners. Your host Marcin here. Today's episode is a winter whirlwind of Nordic madness, featuring none other than Skadi, a hunter with a heart colder than your ex's text replies. Think of it, a tall giantess with a penchant for revenge and a bow that never misses, bursting into Asgard as if she's late for happy hour, exacting revenge for the untimely death of her dear old father. Of course, the gods, always the smooth operators, offer her a marriage as compensation, because who wouldn't want to soothe their grief with a forced divine union, right? But wait, it gets better. Skadi has to pick her husband based on his feet. Yes, feet. Apparently, Asgard doubles as a fetishist dreamland. Expecting a dreamy god, she ends up with Njord, the sea god who loves the coast as much as Skadi loves her mountains, which is to say, not at all. Their marital bliss is about as harmonious as a cat and dog duet, ending with Skadi preferring the solitude of her icy home to Njord's fishy companionship. She emerges as the ultimate symbol of independence and resilience, embodying the spirit of every person who's ever preferred their own company over a bad relationship. So grab your mittens and a pint of something strong, because Skadi's tale is a frosty mix of divine pranks, icy vengeance, and enough wit to freeze the 9 realms. Tune in, laugh along, and maybe learn a thing or two about choosing your battles and your partners wisely. May your aim be as true as your love is fleeting, said the old Norse adage, though surely no one embodied this sentiment quite like Skadi, the formidable huntress of the icy realms. Daughter of the giant Njord, Skadi is the quintessential embodiment of strength, resilience, and an unyielding determination that could put even the most stoic of gods to shame. So grab a pint and settle in, for Skadi's tale is one filled with sharp arrows, sharper wit, and a coldness that goes beyond the frigid landscape she calls home. Her story begins, as many do in the world of Norse mythology, with a bit of familial drama. Born to the giant Njord, Skadi inherited not just her father's colossal stature, but also his fiery spirit and penchant for stirring up trouble. Njord was notorious for his cunning and strength, traits that Skadi would come to embody in her own right. But it wasn't Njord's deeds that cast the longest shadow over Skadi's life. It was his untimely demise at the hands of the Aesir gods, a band of divine troublemakers who couldn't leave well enough alone. Njord's death was a consequence of his abduction of Idun, the goddess who guarded the apples of immortality. The gods, understandably peeved at the thought of aging, concocted a plan to rescue Idun and punish Njord. Loki, the god of mischief, was instrumental in this endeavor, using his trickery to lure Njord into a trap. The resulting battle ended with Njord's death, a Pyrrhic victory for the gods, and an irate Skadi swearing vengeance. Fueled by a desire for retribution, Skadi armed herself and set out for Asgard, the home of the Aesir. Picture it, a towering giantess, bow in hand, eyes blazing with fury, storming the halls of the gods. The Aesir, recognizing both her grief and her might, knew better than to meet her wrath head-on. Instead, they opted for a more diplomatic approach, offering her compensation in the form of a marriage to one of their own and a permanent place among the gods. Now, one might think that Skadi, a fierce huntress accustomed to the harsh solitude of the mountains, would balk at the idea of marriage as a form of recompense. But Skadi, ever the pragmatist, saw an opportunity to secure a foothold in the realm of the gods. However, the gods being the gods, couldn't let her choice of husband be straightforward. They devised a game wherein Skadi would select her spouse based solely on the appearance of their feet, a test that combined the absurdity of a Norse prank with the gravity of divine matchmaking. Skadi, perhaps envisioning a robust and rugged partner, was immediately drawn to the most aesthetically pleasing feet. She chose them, hoping they belonged to the god Balder, renowned for his beauty. To her dismay, the feet were attached not to Balder, but to Njord, the sea god, whose charms were more, let's say, aquatic. Njord, while not unappealing, was no Balder, but a deal was a deal, and Skadi found herself wed to the sea god. Their marriage was, unsurprisingly, a tumultuous one. Skadi's heart belonged to the mountains, where the air was crisp and the snow eternal. Njord, on the other hand, was at home by the sea, where the waves roared and the salt hung heavy in the air. They agreed to a compromise of sorts, splitting their time between the mountains and the coast. This arrangement proved as unsatisfactory as a half-poured pint. Skadi despised the cries of the seagulls and the endless rocking of the waves, while Njord loathed the silence and chill of the mountains. Their union was a classic example of a mismatch, a cosmic joke that underscored the futility of their attempted compromise. Skadi, ever the resilient huntress, eventually parted ways with Njord, preferring the solitary cold of her mountainous home to the lukewarm companionship of a mismatched marriage. In her domain, she truly thrived, embodying the spirit of the hunt with an unwavering dedication. She was a deity who embraced the harshness of nature, finding beauty in the stark and the unforgiving. Skadi's legend grew, not just as a figure of vengeance or marital discord, but as a symbol of independence and strength. Her skills as an archer were unparalleled, her arrows always finding their mark. Hunters would invoke her name for luck and precision, hoping to channel a fraction of her prowess. She became a patron of those who dared to venture into the wild, offering a divine example of self-sufficiency and tenacity. Skadi's presence was felt in the frost-bitten winds and the crisp crunch of snow underfoot, a constant reminder of the power and beauty of nature. It's worth noting that Skadi's story, while inspiring, also carries a certain cynical undertone. Here we have a giantess whose life was shaped by a desire for vengeance, thrust into a marriage that was doomed from the start, and ultimately choosing solitude over compromise. There's a lesson here about the gods, and their often indifferent meddling in the lives of both mortals and their fellow deities. Skadi's tale is a testament to the idea that divine beings, despite their powers, are not immune to the trials and tribulations of life. They too must navigate the complexities of relationships, the pain of loss, and the struggle for identity and purpose. In this sense, Skadi is a profoundly relatable figure, her divinity underscored by a deeply human experience. Interestingly, Skadi's narrative overlaps with that of another lesser-known but significant figure in Norse mythology, Ulla, the god of archery, skiing, and winter. The two deities share a connection through their dominion over the cold and their prowess in hunting and survival. If Thor is the boisterous warrior and Loki the trickster, then Skadi and Ulla represent the stoic endurance and unyielding spirit required to survive in the harsh, frozen landscapes of the Norse world. Some stories suggest that Skadi and Ulla might have had a deeper bond, one forged in the shared solitude of their icy realms. Both revered for their skills with the bow and their affinity for the wilderness, they embody the quiet strength and determination that define the Norse spirit. While there is no explicit myth detailing a romance between the two, their parallel qualities and domains make them kindred spirits in the mosaic of Norse lore. Today, Skadi's legacy endures, particularly among those who find solace and strength in nature. She is a figure of inspiration for women and men who value independence, resilience, and the beauty of the natural world. In the realms of literature, art, and popular culture, Skadi appears as a symbol of empowerment and a reminder of the enduring power of the wilderness. Her name is invoked by athletes and adventurers, particularly those who embrace winter sports. Skadi's spirit lives on in the thrill of a downhill ski run, the precision of a well-aimed arrow, and the quiet majesty of a snow-covered landscape. Festivals and events celebrate her legacy, highlighting her contributions to the rich mosaic of Norse mythology and the enduring human spirit. In the practical world, Skadi's story offers valuable lessons. She teaches us the importance of resilience in the face of adversity, the strength found in independence, and the beauty of embracing one's true nature. Her tale encourages us to find our own path, to seek solace in solitude when needed, and to recognize the value of both our strengths and our flaws. Much like the Huntress herself, we are reminded that life is not about conforming to the expectations of others, but about finding our own place in the world. Skadi's journey from vengeance to independence mirrors the human experience of growth and self-discovery. Her ability to adapt, to survive, and to thrive in the harshest of conditions is a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within us all. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper Norse myth without a touch of humor and irony. Skadi's story is filled with moments that are both absurd and enlightening, from choosing a husband based on his feet to the constant struggle between mountain and sea. Her life is a series of contradictions and challenges that reflect the complexities of the human condition. The gods, with their divine powers and petty squabbles, often find themselves in situations that are both grand and ridiculous. Skadi's tale is no exception, showcasing the humor and folly that come with divine intervention. Her ability to navigate these challenges with grace and strength is a reminder that even the gods must contend with the unpredictable nature of life. As we conclude our exploration of Skadi's story, we are left with a deeper appreciation for the Huntress and her place in Norse mythology. Her journey from vengeance to independence, her strength and resilience, and her unwavering connection to the natural world make her a figure of enduring relevance and inspiration. Skadi's legacy is a testament to the power of the human spirit, the beauty of nature, and the importance of forging one's own path. Whether we are navigating the complexities of modern life or seeking solace in the wilderness, Skadi's story offers valuable lessons and a source of strength. So, the next time you find yourself faced with a challenge, think of Skadi. Channel her resilience and determination, and remember that even in the harshest of conditions, there is beauty, strength, and the potential for growth. And if you ever find yourself choosing a partner based on their feet, well, perhaps it's best to take a step back and reconsider your options. In the grand, chaotic mosaic of life, Skadi is a thread of practicality and pragmatism, reminding us that even the most seemingly ordinary skills and actions can have extraordinary consequences. And in a world that often feels as unpredictable as the Norse cosmos, that's a comforting thought indeed. As we salute Skadi, the Huntress of the icy realms, let's celebrate her legacy with a blend of reverence and a wink of humor. For as we see her story unfolds in all shapes and sizes, her independence is a virtue, and the beauty of nature is her ultimate muse and therapist. So why can't we do that? Here's to Skadi, the badass huntress, the unyielding goddess, and the eternal symbol of strength and independence. May her story keep inspiring us, challenging us, and reminding us of the fierce power we all have inside. Cheers to the goddess who could outski us all. In the charmingly chaotic village of Ballybritus, there lived a woman named Bridie O'Connell. Bridie was the local herbalist, a position of considerable esteem in a community that still believed in the healing power of plants over the dubious potions of modern medicine. Bridie was a woman of great wit and undeniable charm, her laughter as infectious as it was rare. The men of Ballybritus often found themselves vying for her attention, but none so fervently as Connor McCarthy, a man whose jealousy was as fiery as his red hair. Connor McCarthy was a village blacksmith, and also a bit of an oddball. He courted Bridie with a tenacity bordering on obsession, and his affections were a mixture of genuine love and possessive ardor. Bridie, for her part, found Connor's attentions both flattering and exhausting, and her heart was not entirely convinced by his constant courtship. Enter Paddy Doyle, the village postman, a man whose daily rounds had made him privy to the secret lives and whispered scandals of Ballybritas. Paddy was a cheerful rogue, his eyes twinkling with mischief and his pockets always bulging with tales and letters. It was on one of his rounds that Paddy found himself delivering more than just mail to Bridie O'Connell. One fine morning, as Paddy approached Bridie's quaint cottage, he found her in the garden, her hands deep in the soil. "Morning, Bridie," he called, his voice carrying the warmth of 1,000 suns. "Morning, Paddy," Bridie replied, wiping her hands on her apron. "What brings you here so bright and early?" "Just the usual," Paddy said with a grin, handing her a letter. "Though I must say, the morning seems a tad brighter for having seen you." Bridie laughed, a sound that made Paddy's heart skip a beat. "Flattery will get you everywhere, Paddy. Now, who's this from?" Paddy shrugged. "No idea, but it looks important. Might be a secret admirer." Bridie raised an eyebrow, taking the letter. "A secret admirer, you say? Let's hope it's not Connor. The man's more persistent than a fly in summer." As luck, or misfortune, would have it, Connor chose that exact moment to arrive, his eyes narrowing at the sight of Paddy and Bridie sharing a laugh. "What's this, then?" Connor barked, his jealousy flaring up like a bonfire doused in petrol. "Calm yourself, Connor," Bridie said, her tone as cool as the morning dew. "Paddy's just delivering the mail." Connor's eyes flicked to Paddy, then to the letter in Bridie's hand. "And what's in the letter?" "None of your business, Connor," Bridie snapped, her patience wearing thin. "If you must know, it's from a friend." Connor's face turned a shade redder. "A friend, is it? And what kind of friend writes you letters?" Paddy, sensing the brewing storm, decided to intervene. "Easy there, Connor. It's just a letter. No need to get your knickers in a twist." Connor glared at Paddy. "Stay out of this, postman. This is between me and Bridie." Bridie, tired of the argument, turned on her heel and marched into her cottage, slamming the door behind her. Paddy, ever the diplomat, tried to defuse the situation. "Connor, lad, you're going to drive her away with that temper of yours. Why don't you take a walk, cool off a bit?" Connor huffed, his anger simmering. "Maybe you're right, Paddy. Maybe I do need to cool off. But mark my words, if there's another man sniffing around Bridie, I'll have his head." With that, Connor stormed off, leaving Paddy shaking his head. "Men and their tempers," he muttered, continuing on his route. Days turned into weeks, and the tension between Bridie and Connor only grew. Bridie, frustrated by Connor's possessiveness, found herself confiding more and more in Paddy. Their friendship blossomed, much to Connor's chagrin, who saw Paddy as a rival rather than an ally. One evening, Bridie received another letter, this time more mysterious than the last. It contained a single line: "Meet me by the old oak tree at midnight." Bridie's curiosity was piqued, but she couldn't help but feel a twinge of apprehension. She decided to share the letter with Paddy, who, always up for a bit of adventure, agreed to accompany her. At midnight, they arrived at the old oak tree, the moon casting eerie shadows on the ground. "Well, this is a bit dramatic," Paddy said, his voice tinged with amusement. "Who do you think it is?" "Could be anyone," Bridie replied, her eyes scanning the darkness, "but I have a feeling we're about to find out." Just then, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was Connor, his face a mix of relief and embarrassment. "Bridie, I needed to talk to you." Bridie crossed her arms. "And you couldn't do this in daylight like a normal person?" Connor sighed. "I didn't want anyone to see us. I'm sorry, Bridie. I've been a fool. My jealousy got the better of me, and I've been acting like an idiot." Paddy, sensing the moment was for Bridie and Connor, took a step back. Bridie softened, seeing the sincerity in Connor's eyes. "You have been a fool, Connor, but it takes a bigger fool to admit it." Connor stepped closer. "Can you forgive me, Bridie? I'll do better, I promise." Bridie smiled. "We'll see about that. But for now, let's get out of here. It's freezing." As they walked back to the village, a loud crash echoed through the night, followed by a yelp of pain. They rushed towards the sound and found Paddy, who had slipped on a patch of ice and was now sitting in a puddle, his face a mix of pain and laughter. "Ah, the mighty postman brought down by a bit of ice," Bridie said, helping him up. Paddy grinned. "Well, if I'm going to make a fool of myself, might as well do it with an audience." Connor chuckled, extending a hand to Paddy. "Thanks for looking out for Bridie, Paddy. I owe you one." Paddy took Connor's hand, a twinkle in his eye. "No worries, Connor. Just remember, jealousy is like a bad letter, best not delivered." As they made their way back to the village, the unlikely trio laughed and joked, the tension between them finally dissipating. Bridie, Connor, and Paddy had weathered the storm of jealousy and misunderstanding, their bond stronger for it. In the days that followed, Connor worked hard to prove his sincerity to Bridie, while Paddy continued his rounds, delivering letters and wisdom with equal measure. The village of Ballybritas, ever the hub of gossip and intrigue, had witnessed another chapter in its storied history. And as for Bridie and Connor, their relationship blossomed anew, built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect. They often laughed about the midnight meeting and Paddy's icy tumble, the memories a testament to the humor and resilience that define the human experience. In the end, much like Skadi, Bridie found strength in independence and the beauty of forging her own path. And in the quaint village of Ballybritas, life went on, filled with the everyday adventures and timeless tales that make up the rich tapestry of human existence. Here's to Bridie, Connor, and Paddy, the herbalist, the jealous lover, and the wise postman. May their story remind us of the humor, folly, and enduring spirit that define us all. Slante. And there you have it, dear listeners, a frosty jaunt through the wilds of Norse mythology and a cozy stop in the spirited village of Ballybritas. From Skadi's mountainous escapades to Bridie's garden showdowns, it's clear that resilience and a sharp sense of humor are timeless traits. Whether you're storming the halls of the gods for a bit of vengeance or navigating the quirks of small-town life, the lessons remain the same. Stay strong, stay sharp, and don't forget to laugh at the absurdity of it all. After all, no matter the time or place, the icy peaks of Asgard or the quaint streets of an Irish village, a little wit and a lot of determination can turn even the coldest situations into a tale of tales. Nor should we forget the importance of good friends who provide wisdom and a good laugh, such as our lovely postman Paddy. Life is full of sudden twists and turns, yet, in certain cases, hearty laughter and a warm heart are the finest means of dealing with all those windfalls. As we bid farewell to the frosty realms and the charming village alike, let Skadi and Bridie be your guides in finding strength in independence and joy in the journey. Until next time, keep your hearts warm, your spirits high, and your laughter louder